And I think we are ready to start, huh? So we changed a bit the program. So we have just a short hour. Maybe will be a bit shorter. We had planned introduction by Enreach, but as you guys know us already very well, we will be faster moving to Poly, which is actually the topic. So the guys from Poly, the new guys from Poly, they are all busy on the Euro Football Championship, huh?
Mhm.
So we'll can go move directly to the topic, but we can move just around the slides here, so you know that. Sorry, Nicole, maybe you can go to the last slide on my Enreach presentation.
Yeah,
So
we make a step forward.
yeah, to introduce our yeah bingo.
That's the last one.
Yeah, the last one. We can do a little reminder here on it. So on the call will be John. Maybe you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, of course. Hello, everyone. Thank you for your time today. My name is John Adams. I am the category voice lead for Northwestern Europe here at HP Poly. And as a part of my role and remit with the organisation is I look after the 4 Ps. So that would be pricing, product, promotion and placement. And that has anything to do with the voice portfolio, so conferencing phones or handsets, which we'll go into more detail today. And of course, I help enable those entities, the business development entities, and make sure that the product is in the right place at the right time and obviously majorly at the right price. And of course, part of the category team, we make sure that we're aligned with key people and key partners like Enreach and like the people that are on this call today, because you are all helping us enable that voice transaction and that migration from old PBX and old-fashioned communication to new IP, telephony, and communication of the future and the way we work flexibly now. So that's an introduction to me and what I can do and how I'm helping and enabling the guys at Enreach and HP Poly become a more strategic and synergized partner. And that's what we're here to talk about today.
Super. Thanks, John. And we have Olivier with us that most of you know, but Olivier, go and let
Yeah,
us know.
yeah, you probably know me, or at least by my name. Olivier Tessonnier, I am an ex-pre-sales and ex-support and delivery team in Enreach for service providers. I am owning the task of tracking integration of third-party devices and IP phones with our partners, and especially with Poly today. So when we talk about device integration, device testing, certification, I will be involved. I'm a bit doing the bridge between the product and the sales and pre-sales team and our customers for all the integration task. So that's why I am in the call today for the Poly integration tracking.
Yeah. Thanks, Olivier. Olivier is our super expert, also a long time expert with the team and for a few years now on the phone side, IP device side, but also on the mobile app and some other hot topics. So you guys also know me. So I am responsible for sales and marketing at Enreach for service providers. And it's a pleasure to welcome you on this webinar. And I see we have Michael Pasco, a French gentleman, also joining on the call. So as we said, we're gonna jump right to the topic. As you guys all know, Enreach and us. Maybe just a quick one on our promise to you guys and also our response to the market evolution. So we are successfully launching now Enreach App 1.5. We have done the first big upgrades, and we are looking forward to plan upgrades also with you. We also looking to provide you the right tools on the white label, which is really improved on the 1.5 version, the APIs, and give you all the tools to customize your own offering. So we call our platform now customizable by design. So Enreach App 1.5 will allow you to customize the solution for your customers, and bring the right solutions to them. So we put a great effort also to allow our customers to continue to scale, and that's also done in the Enreach App 1.5 version, where we have done a lot of improvements. But we keep with our team, so we are now almost 80 people. We are what we say big enough to matter, small enough to care. So we are close. Want to be close to you, listen to you, and help you to reach your targets and make your customers happy. So we are continuously investing in the R&D. We have done more and more investment in the native cloud SaaS. So the fact that we are now able to go also on Kubernetes and some more cloud native environments is a good evolution. Competition is not sleeping. So this market is highly competitive. You guys have read the recent news on the Meta Switch also, getting out of the market, Microsoft pushing Teams to this customer base, Cisco, BroadSoft also pushing to the WebEx calling market. So we are one of the few platform vendors on the market to provide solutions, platform solutions, at a very competitive price. So this is our response to the market. But today the topic is with Poly. And if you move one slide further, Nicole, we can go and give the speech to hand over to John. John, where are you sitting or based in the UK?
I'm just outside Glasgow in Scotland.
Scotland, good. Have you won against the Swiss team yesterday or not?
No, it was one each. It was a
one
draw.
Each. Okay,
but that's,
sorry.
Listen, that's good for us. Typical Scots, we're happy with a draw. We're okay with that.
Okay.
But yes. So I'm completely in between. I'm south and equidistant to Edinburgh and Glasgow. So if Edinburgh is here and Glasgow is here, my face is where my house is. So that's I'm just the same distance from either city. So I'm very fortunate that way. And obviously the nature for me being on this call today is just to go over the recent product line that has been certified, thanks to Olivier and his team, with regards to getting everybody up to speed on basically our flagship model line, which is the Edge handset series for voice. But first, I just want to give a little background on how we got there. And obviously, as we all know, we're now part of the one big HP family under the HP Poly name. And as you can see, that they are two iconic brands. They are massive brands in the industry. If we look at Poly and obviously their history with Plantronics and then Polycom and then Poly, etc. I mean, the infamous one small step for man, that was through our Plantronics headsets. So we've been in the audio business for a long time. And of course, with HP have been in the industry, as you can see here, since way back, obviously 1940, when they made their first isolators and things like that, and test audio equipment. So we've almost been on a trajectory to meet each other over the past few decades, and it finally happened. And obviously, because of Poly's rich history you know, with regards to the audio, and now HP's brand recognition, and we're seeing that massive shift and change on how we work on our day-to-day. I don't tend to call it hybrid working because that would mean one or the other. I like to use it, you know, flexible working, because I'm at home, but I was on the Scottish Government yesterday, hot desking from there. And, you know, there's a lot of people on this call who might not be in the specific areas where they would normally work. So that's why when we collaborated and HP bought over Poly, it was to bridge that gap of what we were missing from that full collaboration suite, from your laptop to your headsets, to your phone, to your mouse pads, to laptop bags, everything and anything that we can help in that marketplace, we have it, from the smallest to the largest item of superiority. If we can go on to the next slide now, please. Again, this is just to bring us into an idea of the timeline. And you can see, don't want to go into too much detail about this, but you can see how obviously things have changed, and we've actually went and evolved with the marketplace and how it was changing. And as you know, last year or a couple of years ago, at the very tail end of 2022, HP acquired, or sorry, Poly was acquired by HP, should I say, and then we became this very, very strong partnership with two very, very strong brands in the marketplace. I know there's chat and things like that. If anybody wants to add any questions, then by all means you can add to the chat. We can come back to them later. I'm sure that'll be okay. Or if anybody wants to say anything throughout, then by all means, it's quite informal because there's quite a small group. If we move to the next slide again, please. So as you can see here, this is basically where our lines comes from, and it's just pretty similar to what I've explained already. Large portfolio that spans for computers and printers, etc., on the HP side of things, and then obviously with the Poly, leading and global provider in the workplace collaboration solutions, and that's why we had to become that team. We had to. If you can't beat them, you join them. You know, so that's why we became that collaboration, and because we had very, very core equal strengths. You know, HP strengths with compute and everything like that, as I've mentioned. And then obviously that enable IT management, secure hybrid working worlds and hybrid working environments. It was just a match made in heaven. And because of that, if you move to the next slide, you can see, and I'll just brush on this very quickly. I know we're here to talk specifically about the handsets that are obviously in that are enabling Enreach, but this is just a very small snapshot of how that enablement and how that partnership has helped us grow and expand our reach in the marketplace, because we have everything you can see, we have everything you can touch, we have everything you can hear. So we're managing to cover all those mediums of communication and basically bring them to the forefront of what everybody has to think about a true flexible working environment. And then obviously, next slide, we're going to go into the Edge series IP phones. And the reason why, obviously, we've just, and Olivier, and like I mentioned, these team are recently certifying these and have certified these products, is just because they are now our flagship model. And these are the handsets, and you'll see them in just a minute, but these handsets are packed full of features and functionalities that really help accelerate any organization out there to get to the forefront of that IP technology and that IP information handling and communication. If you go to the next slide again. And this is why we're having to do that, because we are now seeing positive trends. Now, I don't have any, specific bar charts or anything like that. We're not all accountants. But for me, the main things that I wanted to sort of express is the fact is that the reason why we're having this conversation is because post-COVID, a lot of organisations realised that they were getting very little return on their investment when it came to their solid state offices. Offices cost money to run, electricity, gas, leasing costs, rental costs, whatever you want to call them. But these are all a part of a very high OPEX for organisations. And because of that, and you can't exactly turn around and just terminate a lease because no one's working there, you have to then draw the workforce back into that place of work, which we are now seeing. We are now seeing collaborative working happening more at office, at home, and other places of business, because we can help enable that movement and that flexible working a little bit better with the products that we have here. Work from home, we're now at phase 2 from work from home. Phase 1 was when we all had these guys, the headsets. but they all had cables attached to them because organisations weren't going to pay £100 a headset. They're looking at $20, $30 headsets or pound headsets to go out to enable that worker to work from home. But now the phase 2 part is because those people who were there temporarily, some are actually now there permanently. So now they have to have a more solid state of communication, and it also has to be more secure. And that's why you'll notice most people that work from home will either use a wired device or they'll have some sort of encrypted device that doesn't allow external penetration to the network. Because if you have a wireless device, guys, or you have something that is on Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, we're creating penetration points there. And that's something we have to keep in mind. So that's why we're now seeing that people are relying on that solid state device, that handset device, because it is a far more secure way to make sure that our network stays as secure as possible. Next slide, please. So as you can see here, here's another thing as well. Because we are now in a more flexible way of working, it also means that we are in areas of organisations that have flexibility, which means they have movement, which means there is background noise. There is multiple groups or social gatherings in certain areas because we all walk into work. We, is it the water cooler chat, they call it in the States, where everybody's in making their teas and coffees, there's discussions. Right, you all don't stop talking when you walk back to your desk. You're continuing that conversation as you walk back to your desk. And that's where we see, because there's a lot more foot traffic and foot flow within organisations, that's why we're noticing people are now more conscious of this background noise and experiences with ringing phones. As you can see, kitchen appliances, like I just mentioned, because now people are working from home. I was having work done on my property last year, and I had to apologise because, well, I need to work, but also they need to work as well because we had maintenance going with the house. But because I had the right technology, although I was apologising for the noise, the other people on the other side of the call would always say, "We can't hear anything, John. You're fine." So that's when we knew, right, we've reached that point of where our technology can keep up with all these issues and all these speed humps that we see in this flexible working environment. Next slide, please. And this is it. This is the glory product here. This is what we've been talking about up to this point, and everything we've mentioned up to this point regarding, noise noise pollution, flexible working. I know you're looking at a phone that's going to sit on a desk, and you're probably thinking, well, John, how does that help me with my flexible working environment? Well, one, we've already ticked the discussion regarding the security aspect of it, but the other side is we do know that people are in a flexible working environment now. And because of that, the handset now reflects this. So let's go through these models here. So if you start at the left of the screen, we have our AG 100 220. Now the AG 100/220 series, this is your entry-level handsets. It's entry-level as you could get. Because here's a little tip for you guys. See, anything that ends in 00 means it doesn't have Bluetooth or doesn't have Wi-Fi. Any AG series that ends in a 20, like a 320 or the 220, then it denotes that it has Bluetooth. And if you see a product that has a 50 at the end, so like a 350 or a 450 or a 550, then that denotes that it has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connection. So that's basically the flagship model of that portfolio, is the 50 series.
Maybe
And
John, just a question. We can also ask maybe here on our attendees here, who already sells poly to his customer base. Would be interesting also maybe to
absolutely.
so can you maybe raise your hand or to for the people who are already selling poly? Okay, Dialan, that's Mia Telecom. Okay.
Eric as well, Melissa.
And Chameleon Cloud in Canada, South Africa, you're already selling it. Michael, you are selling poly already? No? And Nikhil, Enreach UK?
No.
No.
In the
Okay,
UK, we don't.
good. So half of the more or less, and
So
some US.
I understand. So some of this information for Eric and Melissa and things who raised their hand there, and Dylan, I understand some of this information is old news, and you'll probably already know what I've mentioned. But for those who haven't seen the portfolio and don't know the portfolio, little hints and tips like the 20 and the 50 and understanding what those numbers denote. It's always nice to know, just if someone at a quick glance or at a quick conversation and someone mentions Wi-Fi or Bluetooth connectivity, then you know quickly what product line you can go to. Eric, I see you still have your hand raised.
Yeah, Eric, you have another question?
Sorry.
Oh,
Didn't realize I had to click it a second time to unraise it. Sorry.
Okay.
No, it's okay. That's okay. And anyone, if anybody does have a question, just please feel free to raise your hand. The other key features and new features that I wanted to go over, and I do apologise, I'm good at what I do, but I'm not that good, so I'm still reading some of this off another screen. Because I mean, the feature list, especially the new features that we added to the Edge series, is a list of about 18, 19 features long. So I'm not going to go through each one of them, but I'm certainly, I mean, all of these handsets you see here, guys, as well, are all NFC enabled. So they are all enabled for near field communication. So if you have an Android device, so even if you have the 100 series that doesn't have Bluetooth or Wi-Fi connectivity, you can still use your mobile Android device, tap it on the E100, and it will come up asking you if you'd like to pair. You may. Once you pair your device, you then have the option to upload your contacts to the handset, everything like that. Because it's NFC, we are creating an encrypted end-to-end connection with that mobile device. So that means it supersedes the Bluetooth connection because there is a penetration point there. It supersedes the Wi-Fi connection because there's a penetration point there. So that's why we thought about NFC, because then we can encrypt each end of that connection, which is what we do. The other plus side about that is as well means that when you leave the proximity of the device or you disconnect from the device manually, it completely forgets your mobile device. So if someone were to come to that handset after you, there will be no footprint or fingerprint of your device on there. And that's another thing we have to make sure is the security aspect of this. Anytime there's mobility, guys, we always have to make sure we're security conscious. Now, the other thing out with that is being the Bluetooth itself. A lot of people use Bluetooth for headsets like I am doing here today. What was great about the Edge is not only that we increased the Bluetooth range, so we're now at 5.0, but we also done that by reducing the power consumption as well. These are very, very, very low power consumption units, guys. And the reason being is because we're now seeing that people actually have specific remits to tick specific environmental policies when they're looking at product. And that could be from anything, from laptops to printers to phones to headsets. That is now becoming a key factor, and it certainly is now becoming quite a high-level conversation when it comes to these types of deployments and solutions, as people are now asking, what is the environmental impact on this? And obviously, the great thing about it is we use a lot of recycled plastics within our product. In fact, in the laptop side of HP, we are now 100% sustainable in our laptops. All our laptops now are made from complete recycled material, which I thought was fantastic. And we are almost, I think we're about a year away from making all our packaging completely recyclable and non-plastic as well, which is a fantastic. So we're making sure we're ticking all those right boxes too. And obviously power consumption is certainly one of those. I mean, you multiply this solution by 3,000 or 4,000 handsets, and all of a sudden you're going to see a difference in that cost to power them. Not only that, but we have more enriched diagnostics tools within the handset as well. There's even a QR code that's on the screen, so you can go through the menu, go to a QR code, which can be configured by the consumer. So the consumer can go on there and configure that QR code to either be a login step-by-step process of the laptop that they have, or a computer or something, or even just simply to default will direct you straight to the help website through HP Poly to help with any diagnosis on the machine or on the actual handset itself. Other things like accessibility. So we are also looking at the fact is that we now have different fonts, so we can change the fonts over a larger spectrum. We also have different colorations, high contrast and color filters for those that are poor of seeing or have different types of color blindness. Not only that, but because we are also now an organization that is at the forefront of flexible working, we have to also be flexible about the people who use the product. Not everybody is the same We're all blessed to be in all different shapes and sizes, and I'm sure if we all looked the same, it'd be quite a boring place. But we are all different shapes and sizes, and we have all different types of needs. And sometimes we have people that have different types of disabilities, like take your text-to-speech function on the Edgy as well. When you select a button and you have the text-to-speech enabled, it will audibly tell you what button you've pressed, and then by pushing the button a second time, will enter that actual connection and will actually allow you to go ahead with that button that you've pushed there. And many other things that helps with all that accessibility. The other thing as well, which I thought was fantastic, is the fact is that all these handsets are all microband protected. So we are actually in a relationship with an organization called Microban. And what they do is rather than put a coating on the device like you would a vehicle, you can get this PPF stuff for your car where it, easier to clean and less stone chips and that kind of thing. That's similar to what we have through Microban, but Microban doesn't put a coating on the device. It actually bakes it and cooks it into the device. So it's actually baked through the manufacturing process into the plastics themselves. Meaning when you wipe down the handset with a cloth, doesn't have to be wet. If you just dust the handset down with a cloth, you are removing over 98% of the bacteria that's on that handset. So straight away, we're looking at a new marketplace. We're looking at the health service. We're looking at education, public sector, where they are still very, very conscious because they are people from the public and private sectors in these areas. They have to make sure that health and safety, and we have to make sure that we're not transmitting or at least obviously polluting any type of bacteria or at least any unnecessary bacteria. And then, of course, we have many, many other things like, the acoustic fence. So basically what happens with the acoustic fence, so say we have someone who comes in with a mobile device, use NFC or Bluetooth to connect to the handset. Just a second, just got to connect you to my handset, and then I'll be sitting at my desk because I'm not allowed my mobile phone out of my pocket. Tap that, put the phone in the drawer, headset on, what have you. When you do that, or even if you use any of these devices as a loudspeaker, it's actually creating a 6.5 feet perimeter around the device. So it's creating exactly what it says on the tin. It's creating an acoustic fence. So that means if I am at this side of the fence, you can hear me, and if I go, even though my voice is still going. So that's basically what it's doing. That's the best way I can do that illustration. I'm not the best actor, apologies, but that's how the acoustic fence works. And actually what happens is if you lift the handsets up here, and if I lift one of these handsets up, where the loudspeaker is underneath the handset device, there's actually a small mic in there. So it's taking in all that background noise and doing, hold on, that doesn't sound like that fantastic Scottish accent that I always like to hear. Anything that doesn't sound Scottish and mumbled, I'm going to cut it out and just hear this Scottish mumbling guy. And that's where that acoustic fence and your noise block artificial intelligence comes in. And they work so seamlessly together. I've actually had someone chat my door 2 or 3 times and I'm at the front of my property. In fact, there's a doorbell going, which you won't be able to hear. And there's someone trying to deliver a package, but I think the wife will get it, so not to worry. Silly things like this, and everybody always thinks we're making it up, but if I turn my camera and you'll see the van, it's just because of that and that enriched quality and that enriched feature set. That is why with Enreach and their values and their quality of their product and what they want to enable for their client base, that's why that partnership was very good and very strong for us. And obviously these are just some of the things I'm going through, the main selling points. You can even see on the screen here, to reduce line keys, we created pagination keys. So rather than having all these line keys and buttons on the front of the phone, we reduced them and then created a pagination which duplicates that screen 2 or 3 times. And that's why you'll see 8 lines paginated, or you might see 8 plus 6 lines, 32 plus 12. That's because we can actually multiply these screens and have more, and that means those line keys will have more flexibility and more functionality. Any questions on the handsets at all? Does anybody have any queries, comments, concerns about the actual product itself?
Also curious to know if Eric or Mia, have you already tested the new handset?
For us, we have not. We started testing some of the CCX stuff, but not the Edge model yet.
Okay.
And the CCX is good, guys, but CCX is more of a native device. The great thing about Edge is that, well, not only it's certified with Enreach, of course, but it has a little bit more flexibility of what you can do with it. With the CCX device, we feel that we're a little bit dictated to by Microsoft sometimes because it is a native device, but that's neither here nor there. But with the Edge themselves, I just feel that, I mean, even the Halo, they've got small halos around the screens. Now, I'm a big Halo fan. Some of you might know that or might not, and what it basically does is it's even at a glance. So see at a glance, you will see that there's a green halo around the screen and you can see someone's available. Or that will go red if someone's not available. Or it will go yellow and flash yellow if you have a voicemail. Or it's a tricolour matrix, LED matrix. So you can actually change that colour. I've been into a few customers now who actually alter the halo colour to be the same colour as their company logo. Silly wee things like that. I know it's quite gimmicky and it's a bit of a gimmick, but it does help. And again, it's just because we know people are utilising these for a more secure connection to a wireless device like a headset. And at a glance, I can now look over across the room at my colleague and know if they can be approached or not. And then the plus side is, even if you do approach them and they're not, that doesn't matter because you've got acoustic fence. You've got noise block AI, so it's not as if you have any of that noise penetration. But if you want to move on to the next slide just very quickly, I'm just conscious of time, guys. I don't think we're going over, but I just want to go through it. Here's obviously the experience and the user experience. And I've already mentioned a lot of this, like the Bluetooth pairing, the seamless pairing with poly headsets. So if you go up to a device with a poly headset and it's in fine mode, like you're actually trying to attach it to a device, the actual picture of your headset will appear on the Edge screen. So even if I had the 360s, these nice little headsets here, or these earbuds as we call them, if I was attaching that, I would see a picture of my 360s come up on the screen. And again, it's just so you know, if you're in a busy environment, that it is your specific device that it's picked up. You know yourself, as soon as you go onto your mobile and you try and Bluetooth something, 6 or 7 other devices pop up because you're in their proximity. So silly things and little helps like that, just to make that user experience more seamless. Simplified out of the box Wi-Fi configuration as well for home users. So if someone is working from home, they can have this on their laptop. They can power it by PoE, so they can put an Ethernet cable into the back of it without having to use the home's power supply. They can run it off the laptop power supply through PoE, and then use the Wi-Fi signal in order to create that network connection. And then obviously the hot desking experience with the NFC and QR technology is very good, guys. And hopefully in the future, when we do maybe an in-person event with Enreach, which I hope that should be very soon in the future, we can get people round and we can actually get these handsets, we can fire them up, we can get them working, and we can do some examples and obviously some demos, etc. And then just, I think we might have one more after this, if I'm correct. One more slide. Yes, we do. And then again, just all about that experience. Modern user interface, which was a lot better than what we had in the old, say, VVX models. Faster processors. Obviously, again, I've mentioned the QR code, etc., in the microband there. And then, of course, we mentioned about the user disabilities with the text-to-speech, higher contrast, different coloration for different types of colour blindness, etc. So as you can see here, we're trying to make that a much easier process with that flexible worker, and also those that do need that added security of having the solid state handset on the desk. And that, I believe, is the end, if I'm right. That might be the last slide I have. So that's everything in a nutshell, basically, regarding the Edge family, and that's why we're very proud of it, and that's why we're very happy that Enreach has certified it and took it on and making it a part of their own product line, which is excellent, and we're here to support that as much as possible. So if there's any questions or anything that anybody would like to add, then by all means. In fact, I think we have one. All these Edge models are certified for the 10.2.4 GA release or just Enreach UP. So they're actually GA release, yes. Not just Enreach, up I do apologise, Enreach, sorry. But they are an open SIP device as well, so they can be used with other platforms, etc. But if that's what that question was meaning there, sorry. But the great thing about it is because Enreach has certified it, then they are utilising as much of those features and functionalities as possible, and that'll collaborate much better with Enreach Up. Am I right in saying that, Olivier? Because I know your team and the guys have been doing great work on all the certification and collaboration with the handset.
Well, I may switch to a quick demonstration about how you can get the profile of the Edge family and also the CCX family on our website, so you can deploy the phones on your platforms. I may switch to live demo just temporarily with a new, sorry, I have, up. If you go to Partner Connect, which is the website you know to download package, you will see that there is something new. You still see my screen? Yes, it's okay.
Yep. I still see
We
it, mate.
can.
Yep, yep.
Okay, so if you go to Partner Connect and go to the device section, you will see that we have launched our new website. So the page has changed a bit. You will not find anymore on this page the different package for the devices, but you will have to go to the new website here, which is quite the same look and feel. And you will be able to go to the police section. And when I go to the police section, I can see easily all the devices that have been tested and certified recently in outsourced process. You know that we have already old models, VVX models that have been certified earlier on the old way, but in outsourced way, outsourced package, we have integrated mainly the AG family, so you can retrieve the different models that have been presented, but we have also done the CCX family. I think only one is missing yet, but we have the 500, the 600, and the 700. I will not elaborate too much on the CCX, but the purpose is the Edge family. If I take the E500 something, we have a common package. You will see the details of your model with different capabilities that we have presented here. That's something you didn't have in the past, and you can see in example that the phone supports recent secure modes that we have enabled on the Enreach Up platform. The Enreach Up 1.5, we have enabled all the SIP, TLS, SRTP with certificate, mutual authentication. Everything is tested on these models already, and it is working. And then if you want to download the templates for this package, for this model, you just click on the version you want to install, and you will see the changelog of this package, and you can download the package itself in order to import it on your platform. Then you have a manual procedure to deploy the firmware. So that's exactly the same as previously, but in a new website, which is a bit more convenient to use, dynamic, with more information than before. So it's quite easily to get info about certified device and download the package. So you can see that all the recent certifications we have made with the Edge series and also the CCX take benefit of the latest features that we have on Enreach Up, but it is also compliant with ISTRA 10.2, of course. And if you look at the details of the supported line types, you can see that some specific line types are exclusive to Enreach Up. So these models already support the latest line types that we have implemented in Enreach Up. So you can see that the phones are really up to date. So that's the small presentation I wanted to make. You will see that there are many other things that you can do with this website. First, you will see that you can switch between Enreach Up and 10.2 version of the website, and you will have specific package for 10.2 or for Enreach Up that was not present before. On the previous website, all the package were for Istra 10.2. You will see also an advanced search that will allow you to search the exact model you want to have. If you want to check all the Android phones that may be from a specific constructor or not, you can make your search and you will see all the Android phones available. So you come back to the CCX and you can see that the CCX are also certified with the latest features. So that's the main thing I wanted to say. The process remained the same. You can go to Partner Connect and you click on the link, or you just directly go to the devices.partnerconnect.sp.enrich.com. And if you are not authenticated on Partner Connect, you will be redirected to Partner Connect to authenticate. So your feedback will be welcome. Enjoy this new website and the capability to download your phones templates. Feel free to test Poly package to test the level of integration. You can see also that we have quite a nice feature here on the CCX and on the Edge models. Sorry, what are the if I go to the Edge, since it is the subject, we have the native company directory. If you know Enreach and Poly for some time, you know that on previous models, on the VVX and SoundPoint generations, we had a limited integration of the corporate directory. That's something that has been greatly improved in the recent certifications we have made with Poly, since now we have a native XML directory embedded in the phone and downloaded from the server. So completely integrated in the phone infrastructure, in the phone UI. So the experience will be much better in terms of contact searching, contact name identification, on incoming call. Everything will be much better with these new models, with these new families. So feel free to go to this website and make your test. I will take the opportunity to say that we are asking for customer feedback about IP phone redirection service. This concerns not only Poly, but it concerns Poly. We would appreciate if you come to this form and fill it. Your feedback will be interesting for us in terms of understanding how you provision your phones and if you use such a redirection service like Poly ZTP or not in your daily activities. So that's all for me. I think it's okay. Maybe we can continue with the slide. Okay, maybe Robert, you wanted to. No, I can continue on this. Sorry.
Yeah, we are coming to the end also, yeah, of our time slot here. So yeah, we have been working since 2007 with Poly, always certified the auto provisioning of office conference phones. So we gonna go more and more of after the headsets too. So there will be a new procedure to certify those. We are looking forward to John to ship us a bunch of headsets, huh? A big box of headsets here to France. And
Yeah,
And
we are doing a lot of efforts in order to test actively with Maestra headsets, and Poly is a major actor in this domain. We have already done some work with Poly, but it was a bit older, and we have to renew some testing session on the latest version of Maestra, latest version of the headsets. But also on Partner Connect, you will see that we have already a headset testing report here that will give you a complete feedback about the different headsets we have tested with Maestra. So that's something we have to push forward with Poly, especially with Poly.
So of course, you know, there are still IP phones a lot on our desk, but of course headsets are also taking over, and of course cell phones as well. So, you know, the clever solution is the one which integrates all of those nicely. Poly is one of the worldwide leaders in this area. So we are very happy to collaborate with Poly HP. I think John, you well reminded us about also the quality, the audio reliability, and we all agree that, you know, doing more and more remote work, audio quality makes a big difference to our life quality as well. So I thank you all to have joined this webinar. We come to the end here. If there is any question, please feel free to ask now. Else we are available also after the webinar. You can ping John or us directly.
absolutely, yeah. If anybody wants to, you have my email address, no doubt, through this link or through this invitation on this chat. If not, I can certainly add it to the chat just now. But
Okay.
if anyone has any questions, comments, concerns at all, or even just if they want to have a little bit more of a deep dive or a little bit more of an in-depth conversation on a specific, maybe more discussions over the product line, I've
Yeah.
put my email into the chat there, so by all means you can copy and paste and get in contact, guys. I'm more than happy to help in any way I can. And if it's not a specific region I cover, I heard some might be on there from South Africa or some might be over Canada and things like that. There are other people that do what I do in those regions. So by all means, if you just need to ask, John, who do I speak to about X, Y, and Z? Might be myself, or I might be able to pass you on to one of my colleagues. But either way, we'll come up with some sort of solution and get you the answers that you need.
To speak to people who speak proper English, right, John?
Yes, yes. Of course. Let's try and make it easy for me to begin with.
I say that, but
I much prefer the Scottish accent, I got to tell you.
to the Fringlish.
Thank you.
I
Thank
knew
you.
that, Eric.
Maybe I will just add another comment I forgot in terms of roadmap. As you can see, we have integrated in the past the previous generation of OBI ATAs adapters, and it's in the box to certify, certify the most recent ATA version from Poly. Also, it's on the way. The ATA 400, if I don't say any mistake, it's coming.
Yep, you're right. AT 400, 402, and the
Yeah.
408, I believe,
Coming
is going to be
soon.
the three. That's right.
So they will be added to this page as soon as it is done.
And again, that's just I know we're finishing up, guys, but the ATs are very important. Helps enable that IP transmission, helps that connectivity for those that maybe have older technology that needs modern backbone to help it work. If you've got old printers and fax machines and things like that, we still have a lot of law societies that use hard copies and use paper because, let's face it, you can put that away behind lock and key, but when it's in a file somewhere, that's when people start getting worried. So these organizations still use older methods, and those ATAs can really help bridge that gap between existing infrastructure and a more modernized IP. infrastructure. So keep that in mind as well. I'm sure you all know what they do, but just so we update on that as well.
Super. Okay, thank you,
Excellent.
John.
Thank you, everybody.
Wim, thank you, guys.
Thank
Have
you,
a
everyone.
great day. And
Enjoy
see
the
you
rest of your
soon.
week.
Yeah,
Yep.
free to
Take
come
care,
back to
everyone.
us.
Thank you all very
Thanks,
much.
Robert.
Appreciate it.